energizing your soul through the inspired Word of God. This is your daily devotional reading.
Our Daily Bread. A Great Religious Awakening. July 21st. The Advent message was heralded around the world. Don't you see my Jesus coming? See him come in yonder cloud, with 10,000 angels round him. How they do my Jesus crowd. Don't you see the saints ascending? Hear them shouting through the air. Jesus smiling, trumpet sounding, now his glory they shall share. I am bound for the kingdom. Will you go to glory with me? Hallelujah, oh praise ye the Lord. The Advent message was heralded around the world. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. In Germany, the doctrine had been taught in the 18th century by Bengel, a minister in the Lutheran Church and a celebrated Bible scholar and critic. Upon completing his education, Bengel had devoted himself to the study of theology, to which the grave and religious tone of his mind, deepened by his early training and discipline, naturally inclined him. Like other young men of thoughtful character, before and since, he had to struggle with doubts and difficulties of a religious nature, and he alludes with much feeling to the many arrows which pierced his poor heart and made his youth hard to bear. Becoming a member of the consistory of Wurttemberg, he advocated the cause of religious liberty. While maintaining the rights and privileges of the Church, he was an advocate for all reasonable freedom being accorded to those who felt themselves bound on grounds of conscience to withdraw from her communion. The good effects of this policy are still felt in his native province. It was while preparing the sermon from Revelation 21 for Advent Sunday that the light of Christ's second coming broke in upon Bengel's mind. The prophecies of the Revelation unfolded to his understanding as never before. Overwhelmed with a sense of the stupendous importance and surpassing glory of the scenes presented by the prophet, he was forced to turn for a time from the contemplation of the subject. In the pulpit, it again presented itself to him with all its vividness and power. From that time, he devoted himself to the study of the prophecies, especially those of the Apocalypse, and soon arrived at the belief that they pointed to the coming of Christ as near. The date which he fixed upon as the time of the second advent was within a very few years of that afterward held by Miller. Bengel's writings have been spread throughout Christendom. His views of prophecy were quite generally received in his own state of Wurttemberg and to some extent in other parts of Germany. The movement continued after his death, and the Advent message was heard in Germany at the same time that it was attracting attention in other lands. At an early date, some of the believers went to Russia and there formed colonies, and the faith of Christ's soon coming is still held by the German churches of that country. The light shone also in France and Switzerland. At Geneva, where Farel and Calvin had spread the truth of the Reformation, Galzin preached the message of the Second Advent. While a student at school, Galzin had encountered the spirit of rationalism which pervaded all Europe during the latter part of the 18th and the opening of the 19th century, And when he entered the ministry, he was not only ignorant of true faith, but inclined to skepticism. In his youth, he had become interested in the study of prophecy. After reading Rollin's Ancient History, his attention was called to the 2nd chapter of Daniel, and he was struck with the wonderful exactness with which the prophecy had been fulfilled, as seen in the historian's record. Here was a testimony to the inspiration of the Scriptures, which served as an anchor to him amid the perils of later years. He could not rest satisfied with the teachings of rationalism, and in studying the Bible and searching for clearer light, he was after a time led to a positive faith. As he pursued his investigation of the prophecies, he arrived at the belief that the coming of the Lord was at hand. Impressed with the solemnity and importance of this great truth, he desired to bring it before the people. But the popular belief that the prophecies of Daniel are mysteries and cannot be understood was a serious obstacle in his way. He finally determined, as Pharaoh had done before him in evangelizing Geneva, to begin with the children, through whom he hoped to interest the parents. I desired this to be understood, he afterward said, speaking of his object in this undertaking. It is not because of its small importance, but on the contrary, because of its great value, that I wish to present it in this familiar form, and that I addressed it to the children. I desire to be heard, and I feared that I would not be if I addressed myself to the grown people first. I determined, therefore, to go to the youngest. I gather an audience of children. If the group enlarges, if it is seen that they listen, are pleased, interested, that they understand and explain the subject, I am sure to have a second circle soon. And in their turn, grown people will see that it is worth their while to sit down and study. When this is done, the cause is gained. Our Daily Bread. This passage was taken from The Great Controversy, pages 363 through 365. The protest continues.
I encourage you to be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. Thank you for listening, and be sure to join us tomorrow for your daily devotional reading.